So this week is going to be very interesting for the crypto market. There's going to be new information coming out between Russia and Ukraine, closed door talks between the Federal Reserve, and there's going to be a lot of impacts on the overall market. Today, let's talk about what's happening right now, though, what we know for sure. What we're seeing right now with the overall crypto market is, first, Bitcoin's price has been able to stay above its 50-day simple moving average. And the other day, we had talked about how it looked like Bitcoin's price was going to close below it, but right now we are still hovering just above this 50-day simple moving average, and this is historically a very good sign for the market that we are retesting it, but we have been able to stay above it on the daily chart. So keep an eye out on this over the coming days. If we drop below it, well, Bitcoin could be in trouble in the short term and drop back down to $40,000 per coin. As long as we maintain above it, though, we very well could see another retest of that $46,000 per coin resistance. So keep an eye out on this level. Other news that's happening with the market is that we're seeing cryptocurrency companies for the very first time be featured and have ads in the Super Bowl. We're seeing companies like FTX, BitBuy, Coinbase, Crypto.com, and many more companies are finally starting to get into Super Bowl ads. And right now, it says that advertisers are paying about $7 million to have an ad in the Super Bowl. And FTX, for example, they're not only paying for a Super Bowl ad, $7 million, but they also are giving away Bitcoin as part of a contest that's running in this campaign. So right now we're seeing a lot of different crypto companies get involved, start advertising more mainstream media. And just remember, this is the first time that we're seeing this happen. It's much like when we first saw the dot-com bubble, when we first started seeing internet companies advertise at the Super Bowl. We are still very early. This shows us that we are still very early. Anyone getting in crypto is early right now, as we're just finally starting to see companies advertise in major sporting events, companies starting to invest part of their balance sheets. We are still very early, and this is a great sign, in my opinion. Also, let me know your thoughts on which Super Bowl ad was your favorite out of all the cryptocurrencies. Currency companies. Was it FTX, Crypto.com, Coinbase? Which one? Let me know which one you thought was the best. Next thing I want to talk about is going to be with Bitcoin hash rate, because over the last 24 to 48 hours, we've seen Bitcoin's hash rate reach an all-time new record high. It increased 31% in the last 24 hours from 188.4 EHS to 248.1 EHS. And this is a really, really big deal, seeing that Bitcoin hash rate has recovered completely from where it was earlier in the year. So earlier in the year, when China outright banned Bitcoin mining, we saw an over 30% drop in Bitcoin's hash rate, meaning that basically it's the amount of computing power that's dedicated to mining Bitcoin. The higher the hash rate means that really more Bitcoin miners are involved. There's more machines actively mining Bitcoin. The harder it is to mine one Bitcoin in particular. Just think of it, the higher the rate, more people who want to mine Bitcoin. And what we're seeing right now is that after China banned cryptocurrency mining altogether, we saw a major drop in this rate. But since then, we have seen it recover and now reach new record highs for the very first time ever, just the other day in February 2022. Right now, vast majority of Bitcoin mining takes place in the US, over 30% of it, and the second place is with Kazakhstan. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Russia and Ukraine and other countries across Europe over the coming months, especially with tensions rising between Russia and Ukraine. So we'll see what happens there, if that has an impact on Bitcoin mining in general. But either way, we are seeing this reach record highs, and that is a great sign for the market. Other exciting news is going to be with NFTs, because CryptoPunk just sold for a record-breaking $24 million, which was more than double the previous record. And this is pretty exciting, because a lot of people would say, well, when crypto market is not doing well, when altcoins aren't doing well, people are not going to invest in riskier assets. And historically, NFTs are a lot riskier. When the market is not doing well, NFTs historically take a bit of more of a hit, because people don't want to spend their, ETH on NFTs, not knowing if they could sell it. But seeing that CryptoPunks and other major NFT projects are selling for record-breaking numbers still is a great sign for the overall market, meaning that, NFTs are starting to have their own sector of the market, that people are believing in these long term, regardless of what's going on with crypto. And many people think that these are assets that will hold their value even better than other cryptocurrencies long term. So personally, I think this is a very good sign, seeing a record-breaking sale, 8,000 ETH for this NFT. That is very, very exciting to see. Interesting thing about this project, this NFT in particular, it was sold last in 2017 for 8 ETH. At the time, it was about $1,600, but now they turned that $1,600 into $24 million. Obviously, this doesn't happen all the time. This is a record-breaking sale, but there's no other asset out there where you could have turned $1,600 into $24 million in just about 4 or 5 years. So interesting to see this happen. And I think we're seeing NFTs really start to hold their value more long-term, especially the more solid projects, the projects with good reputation, good backing, good teams. Those projects, I think, are really going to hold their value well long term. And then the last thing I want to go over is with billionaire investor Bill Miller. Bill Miller came out the other day and he said that he believes Bitcoin is going to see massive institution adoption in 2022. He says that Bitcoin is an insurance against financial catastrophe. He said, look, he thinks Bitcoin is like an insurance policy. Insurance policies don't have any intrinsic value. They don't need to have intrinsic value. In fact, he said you want them to have no intrinsic value at all because you don't want to have your house burned down or get in a terrible accident, but you pay for insurance every year in case that happens. And he says ultimately that's the same way he treats Bitcoin. He bought Bitcoin a couple years ago, single digits of his net worth. At all-time highs, it contributed to over 50% of his net worth. It's increased dramatically, and he believes that right now we are going to see massive amount of institutions, foundations, endowments, and other big money players finally get involved in crypto for the first time, and this is still to come in 2022. So right now there's a lot of stuff going on in the market. Short term, still a little bit on edge with Bitcoin's price and technicals, but long term, things are looking great in terms of NFTs, institutional adoption, crypto companies advertising in the Super Bowl for the first time. All of this is great news. So let me know your thoughts on the overall market, what's going on. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter if you don't already. I post there multiple times a day, every single day. So make sure to follow me there if you don't already. We're closing in on 10,000 followers there. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.